Hello and welcome to another Excel tutorial. In this video, I will explain how and when to use if and ifs function when using Excel. Before we practice, let me explain the use cases for both functions. So both functions checks if one or more conditions are met in a data set, based on which they will return a value suggesting what condition was actually met from the given set of conditions. I think you will get more clear once we start practicing. So let's get started. All right, so now let's practice the formula. Firstly, let's look over the data. So we have a list of students and the marks they have obtained in a recent exam. And now we want to determine if the student has passed or failed based on the marks they have earned. The criteria is that if the marks are less than 60, it is a fail, and if they are either 60 or more, it is a pass. So in this case, because there is only one condition, we can use the if statement. If there was multiple conditions, we will use the ifs statement with an S. We will try that once we've done this first query. So in the first query, only one condition is that if B2 or column B, the number is less than 60, we want to see fail in this column. So in other words, if this condition is met, we want to return the first text that we're going to give. So every time you want to get a text back in your results, you need to put that in double quotation marks, like I'm putting. So because I want to return a text, I will put that in quotation marks. So the condition was if B2 is less than 60, it is a fail. And or if the condition is not met, I put a comma and then I say return pass. So basically the whole condition reads as if B2 is less than 60, that's a fail, or it's a pass. So or here meaning that if the condition is not met, please return the second text that we are giving here. Okay, so we do this. We drag the formula down, we can see there is this, the student number one has got 60 marks, which is the criteria for pass was 60 or more. So because it's 60 here, we got a pass, and second one is a fail because the marks are less than 60. All right, so our second query that we have, we are going to use the ifs statement, which has which allows multiple conditions to be input in the formula. So our condition, so what we are trying to get is we want to assign a grade based on the marks that each of the student has earned, and we've got a criteria here. So our criteria is any numbers, marks above 89 is an A, these between 80 and 89 is B, so on and so forth. So to do this, we will type ifs, open brackets, and then we will start with our first condition. Our first condition is that if B2 is greater than 89, which will be 90 and above, we want to see A. Again, because A is a text, we will put that in double quotation marks. We put a comma, and then we put the second criteria, which is if B2 is greater than 79, which would be, so greater than 79 would mean 80 to 89. So another way to put this is we can say that if B is equal and greater than 80, so in this case, it will also include 80 part of the condition. In other words, you can just say if it is greater than 79, would just be any number which is 80 or above. So it would not include 79 because we are telling Excel the number is greater than 79, so not 79. So we can use this way. as well. So I think I find it easier doing this way, so I use this. So if the number is greater than 79, we can return B. And if this third condition is if B2 is greater than 69, we want to return C. And if number, fourth condition is the number is greater than 59, we want to see D. And lastly, if the numbers are below 60, so we can do B2 below 60. So we change the direction also, that symbol itself pointing opposite. So we put comma and we put F. So fail. So equal, and then you copy the formula down. So we can see that if number were below 60, we got a fail. If the number were 60, it was D. And lastly, let's try another ifs query. So let's look over the data. So data we have is we got employee names. We got different bands each of the employees are. So these are tax bands. And then we got the salary, and we want to work out the tax rates each of the employees get. And the data or information we have is we got different level of tax rates, so lower, additional, and higher. And we know the tax rate for each of these bands is given here in this table. So what we want is we want to calculate what is the tax rate based on the bands we have. So to do this, we will do one thing. So we will do ifs. We use if statement because there are more than one criteria. So we will say if this equal lower. So that's first criteria. So if this is lower, which is the text, so if this is lower as a text, we want to see 20%. If this is, if this equals higher than 40%, and lastly, if this is additional than return 45%, close brackets, and we do equal, we get the results. To convert that to percentage, we see this. Another easier way to say write the same query is the fact that you can reference cells in your condition. So we can do equal ifs. If this equals this, then we want to return this as a result, which is 20%. Okay, and then we will also lock this range as well because we don't want this to be changed. And then we do comma. We say if this equals that, then we want 40%. Lastly, our last condition is that if O2 equals additional weight, this cell, then we want to return this for 45%. So we copy the formula down and we should get exactly the same results. Cool. Hope you liked the video. And please let me know if you are struggling with any of the Excel functions. I can address that by making another video. Thank you. Have a good day.